Very good morning to one and all present here. Today we are going to have a discussion about webinar on Primavera Project Management Software, Infinity PMC Solutions Private Limited in association with VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai, conducting this webinar. So today's agenda is IPMCS Introduction, Project Management Introduction, Primavera Overview, Primavera and its features, Oracle certification, other certifications, career path in project management, prestigious projects of IPMCS. About Infinity PMC solutions, our focus is mainly on project management and cost management domain. We have combined experience of 20 plus years in successfully implementing the project and cost management solutions. We do have 1,000 plus hours of training experience in handling top colleges, universities and corporates with different verticals. We have certified trainers from Oracle, Exactel and PMI. Professional services handled by IPMCS in the project and cost management domain. Basics of PMP, project management professional concepts. Basics of BIM concept in project management. Microsoft project management software. Asta Power Project. Oracle Primavera Risk Analysis. Oracle Primavera P6. Exactel Costix. Corporate services handled scheduler services, estimation and quantity survey services, 4D and 5D BIM services, implementation services, staff augmentation services. So we are going to enter into introduction to the project management. Before entering into the concepts, I just request all the participants, if you have any doubts or clarifications, please post your queries in the chat box then and there itself. At the end of the session, we'll have the doubt clarification session. That time we can discuss about the queries. Thank you. So introduction to project management. Before enter into the Primavera software, Primavera is a project management software. First, we should know what is project and what is project management and all. Let's have a small brief about project management. Then we'll enter into the Primavera software. So what is project? We are doing a project and we are handling mini project or like large project, complex projects, and we are handling the Primavera software to manage a project. But what is project first? As per the standard, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, services, or results. So if you say you're doing a project, at the end of the project, the outcome might be the product, services, or the results. Anyone. So it is based on your industry, you will get the outcome. And project is a unique one. So unique in the sense, no two projects are 100% similar. So one project will be different from the other project. Suppose if it is 100% similar, then we will call such thing as the operations. The best example is we all using the Android mobile phones or like iPhones nowadays. So mobile phones, they are launching a new version means that is called as a project. Once they launch the new version, like daily basis, they are producing thousands and lakhs of mobiles. So if it is like similar version has been produced like number of mobiles or number of products, then it is called as operations. So in this case, if you take between the previous version and the current version of the mobile phone, there is no much changes. Only any one of the feature or any some of the features only changed. So either hardware part or like software part. So this is why that's why we call such thing as a project, and it is a temporary. Temporary in the sense whenever you call such thing as a project should have a definite start and definite end date. Either it may be the 2 months project or 2 years project. It will have a definite start and end date. So applications. This project management concepts and softwares are industry neutral one. So it is not only for the civil industry or like mechanical or electrical, it is for all the industries. Some of the examples of projects has been mentioned here. Design and development of a software application. So this project has been handled by IT or software industries. Construction of a residential building or like commercial complexes projects handled under civil department. Design and development of a prototype of a machine or component comes under technology and services. Planning and conducting clinical tests for a drug or therapy. This kind of projects comes under medical department. And conducting a market survey for a specific product or services, R&D. Manufacturing of car, mechanical projects. New substation testing and commissioning comes under electrical projects. So basically this is for civil, mechanical, electrical, IT, even your marine or like aeronautical, all the industry projects can be used this project management concepts as well as the software. So what is project management? Managing the project with the help of your knowledge, skills, and tools and techniques. So knowledge you're gaining from the educational background, and skills you're gaining from your experience, and tools and techniques, whichever like additional skills required for the particular domain, that is called as tools and techniques. Say for example, now we are telling project management concepts of the software. These things, when you're working in the projects, then it is mandatory to learn about the project management concepts of the software. If you are working in a design field, then it is mandatory to learn the AutoCAD software. So like this, if you want to enhance your particular domain related job career, then you'll be learning some tools and techniques. So these things we call as tools and techniques. So project management is the application of your knowledge, your skills, your tools and techniques. All these things you are going to apply on your project activities finally to meet the project requirements. So key areas of project. Key areas of project is nothing but when you call such project as a failure or the success, based on which parameter you are deciding the project is success or failure. So based on these parameters only. So scope, time, cost, quality, resources, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholders. So scope is nothing but any work required, any scope change. So whatever initially agreed scope of works, then duration, then budget, we all very much aware. So these three parameters. Other than these three parameters, in order to get the success of the project, we need to concentrate on the quality also, resources part, communication part, risk part, and then procurement and also stakeholders. So using the project management software, you need to address all this point of view. The project management summary. This is nothing but in general in projects, what are the challenges you're facing and what are the solutions we need to give and what are the benefits in the project management softwares available. We are going to discuss that. So challenges facing in a project are, it is very difficult to predict the cost and schedule for all the projects. Slow to identify and resolve the problems. When you're handling the project manually, these challenges will come across. Inconsistent and inaccurate communication of the project performances. To address these challenges, the solutions come across are called methodologies and then critical path method scheduling, interactive Gantt chart, and earned value management for tracking, and then configurable views and role management, role-based project management dashboards. So these are the solutions offered by the project management softwares and also benefits of the project management softwares. You can consistently plan, execute, and deliver all the projects. So starting from a small scale till the large scale projects, you can plan, execute, and deliver. Quickly identify the root causes of the problems, adjust plans, and immediately assess the impact. Using the project management software, you can easily evaluate the alternatives to find the better, faster, and cheaper ways. So this is nothing but in the project management software, you can find like if I go with plan A, what will be the outcome? If I go with plan B, what will be the outcome? And in this plan, what are the risks will be arising? So all this information can be identified with the help of the project management software. Introduction to Primavera, Oracle Primavera P6. So Oracle Primavera, it is a project management software or project planning and scheduling software. Primavera is nothing but it's a world's leading software for planning and execution of the multiple and complex projects. Companies using Primavera. It is introduced by Primavera System Incorporation in 1984. Later in 2008, Oracle acquired this software. So in the worldwide top 100 engineering and construction companies use the Primavera. Top 500 companies use this software. Preferred application for the top infrastructure projects in India. It's been in the market for more than 30 years. The Primavera Project Portfolio Management Solution. Using Primavera software, you can manage your project as well as you can manage the portfolio of the organization. So you can handle one complete organization with multiple departments. In a project, how you will proceed with the project. Process groups of the project. There will be 5 process groups: initiation, planning, execution, then monitoring and controlling, finally closing. So from the diagram, you will get to know monitoring and controlling is mentioned for all the processes. So why monitoring and controlling should be done in all the process? Suppose in the initial stage itself, if you find any deviation at the end of the initiation, then monitor there itself, solve the issue, then move on to the next process. Otherwise, if you do after execution, monitoring and controlling means no, like it will be like a waste of time and then waste of cost, everything. So to avoid like major surprises at the end of the project, do the monitoring and controlling in all the processes. If you do projects in any field in any of the software, this is the procedure to carry out the project. The project processes, first initiation will be coming. Under initiation, we will be creating the project charters and all. Then in the planning, we'll be doing the detailed planning using like scope and budget planning, then work breakdown structure, then Gantt chart, communication plan, and then risk management. Then project launch or execution, status and tracking, KPIs, quality and forecast. Then in the project performance and control, you'll be checking the plan or project, whether it is going as per the plan or not, any deviation. Then effort and cost tracking and performances. Finally, in the closing stage, you will hand over the project to the client. Then also you will close the project in terms of the reporting. Now we will see in detail in Primavera how these processes will be carried out. So in a project, if you take the hierarchy and the roles will be available. In a project, whatever the roles engaged in a project. So planners and schedulers, contract administrators, PMO, administrators, executives, resource managers, project managers, project owners, stakeholders, project participants, and then team members. So based on the particular role in a Primavera, you can work on your, as per your role, you can work on the particular part alone. So if one single project is there, if it's a site engineer or a field engineer, they can work on only the progress updation part. If you are a planning engineer or like a project manager, then you have to work on the complete project, all the informations. So based on your role, you will be working on the Primavera software. So Primavera is a highly secured software. Without login ID and password, you cannot enter into the software. Also, after entering also, based on your roles, it is like user restricted access. As I said, if you are a site engineer, you will be able to do only the progress updation. You won't be able to delete any activities or add activities like that. Other functions you cannot do. And also in an organization like 100 projects are running, you are working on 2 projects means you will be able to see only the 2 project information, not any other project information. So this kind of user restricted access will be given in the industries. So IT administrators, they work is they need to give the access and privilege according to the project hierarchy and then the requirements. Whereas planner and scheduler, they need to plan, monitor project time, resources, and cost, and also progress of the project and forecasted completions. Whereas if you take contract administrators, they will work on only the vendor management, contracts, and POs. PMO participants need to have an overall view of the project, contracts, and risk involved in the project. Let's see in the Primavera software in detail how to work. So as we discussed, without login and ID and password, we cannot enter. So I'm giving the login name and password. I'm giving connect.
Sorry to interrupt, Suganya.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you sit little bit louder, Suganya? Voice is.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, because voice is so dull, I think so. பின்னாடி இருந்து கேக்குற மாதிரி கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு. So please increase your volume maybe little bit, okay?
Okay, now we have opened the Primavera software. So as we discussed, you can see here multiple departments has been displayed here. So if I open enterprise, here you can see engineering and construction department, energy services, manufacturing, product development, like that. So if you open the particular department, you can handle and you can maintain multiple complex projects here. So let's create one project and we will work on that. So I'm creating one of the project called like under engineering and construction itself. Let me create construction of house. One simple project. Let's take it. So give me the project ID and then the project name. I'm taking construction of apartments. Enter the project ID. So the project ID will be depends upon your organization you'll be maintaining. Give next. So when you want to start this project, we are going to plan for this project. So I'm planning to start this project on September 2020, September 1st. Next. You can assign the project manager for this project. Who is responsible? Already we would have created the responsible managers. So you can choose the responsible manager. Next, finish. So now you can see here construction of apartments is also one of the project has been created. From now onwards, you are going to work on this particular project only. So to work on the particular project, open the project. I'm selecting the project, right click, open project. So now go to project tab, go to WBS. So once the project has been created, plan for the high level. So work breakdown structure is nothing but it is like decomposing your large project into smaller and more manageable pieces. It's like high level planning, or we call it as a milestone based planning. So construction of apartments, how you are going to split? I'm going to split based on tower wise. So first, tower 1 or tower A. In this G plus 2 floors. Whereas in tower B, we have G plus 5 floors. So I want to plan in detail for the tower A. Select tower A, again split. So first I'm going to plan for ground floor. Then I can plan for first floor. Then you can create second floor. Then, okay, till second floor only we have given. So this is like extra level. I can delete this level. So now ground floor, first floor, second floor, all are same levels. Using the arrows, I'm going to change it into same levels. So now similarly, you can plan for the tower B also. Either you can plan like this, Otherwise, you can just copy and then you can paste it here. See, under tower B also ground floor, first floor, second floor has been created. Now under second floor, I can create third, fourth, and fifth. So now you can change these into same levels. And now you can decide whether you want to plan in detail ground floor as like activity based. Otherwise, if you want to split again high level planning for ground floor, first floor like that. So I'm going to split ground floor into substructures and then superstructures. Substructures, then superstructures. So this is how high level planning can be done. Similarly, you can do for the first floor, second floor, and then like in tower B also you can do the splittings similar way. Now we will go for activity page. Go to project tab, activities. So you can see here whatever we created in the WBS has been displayed here. So now I can plan for ground floor in detail, substructures as well as superstructures. So activities is nothing but activities is the fundamental element of the project. So this is the one which you are going to do in the site. What is the work you are going to do at the site? That work we call as the activities here. I'm going to add the activities. Under substructures, I'm adding excavation, foundation, plinth beam, damp roof course, then backfilling. So for the example purpose, I'm taking a very lesser number of activities. So similar way, you can add the activities under the superstructures also. Select superstructure and add the activities. So under superstructures, I'm creating column activity, then slab, beam, then slabs, brickworks, plastering, tiling, painting. So for excavation, you can define the durations. So the durations, if you are like a fresher or like a entry level engineer, then the project managers will be helpful for preparing the durations. So I'm giving some durations on an assumption basis. For column activities and for beam. So in the duration, days wise, I have entered. So this portion we call as a Gantt chart. So Gantt chart is nothing but this is the visual representation of the project, or it's kind of a project map. So where the activity is running right now, you can check from the project map itself, like it is mentioned, bar chart or the Gantt chart. So can you see now all the activities are started on the same dates only. So right now we have defined the activities. What are the activities we are going to carry in the site? Next, you have to define which activity should start on which date and which activity should end on which date. So that sequencing should be done right now. So to do the sequencing, with the help of the 4 type of relationships we have: finish to start, start to start, and then start to finish, and finish to finish. So with the help of this 4 type of relationship, we are going to do it. So select the activity. In details, here you have the relationships bar. Using the relationships, you can assign the predecessors as well as successors. So predecessor is nothing but previous activity. Successor is nothing but upcoming activity. Any one you can start following and assigning throughout the project. Participants are requested to mute. Thank you. So now assign the relationship. For excavation, there is no previous activity. So first activity is excavation. Then go to foundation. So after completing excavation only, foundation should start at the site, means assign the predecessor as excavation. While assigning, you can check which type of relationship I want to give. So after excavation, that is after finishing excavation only, I need to start the foundation. So finish to start itself. Using the lag column, you can apply any lag or leads. That one we will discuss later. First, let's assign the predecessor for all the activities. Then for plinth beam, foundation will be the predecessor. Then for dam proof course, plinth beam. For backfilling, dam proof course. Next, column. So to start the column activity, backfilling needs to be completed. So after column, we'll go to beam activity. So for slab, I'm taking beam as start to start. Otherwise, let me give for slab, column as a predecessor. Then for brickwork, column, beam as well as slab needs to be completed. Then for plastering, brickwork needs to be completed. For tiling, plastering, and for painting, plastering and tiling needs to be completed. So you can click on the relationship lines. After I assigned the predecessors also, you can see here there is no changes. So to have the to apply the changes here, you have to do the scheduling of the project. So let me go for scheduling of the project. You can see here. So all the activities has been displayed in the Gantt chart. So right now, which activity should start on which date and it is ending on which dates. The dates has been calculated. Not only the dates, it has calculated the critical path method. So critical path method is nothing but finding the critical activities and non-critical activities in your project. Why we need to find critical and non-critical activities? So red color indicates the critical activities and green color indicates the non-critical activities here till the end of the project. So critical activities means there is no relaxation time on these kind of activities. So in this case, if you delay this critical activity even a single day, it will directly affect the project finish date. And non-critical activities, they may have some of the buffer durations. If you delay the non-critical activity, that is not going to affect anywhere. It is not going to affect your finish date of the project. And why we need to find these things in the planning stage itself. So if you find the critical and non-critical activities in the planning stage itself, when you move on to the execution, you will put your more concentration on the critical activities to save the activities without a delays, to complete the activities without delays. So not only in the Gantt chart, in the spreadsheet also you can view the critical path method. So you can insert the columns. So activity ID, name, original duration, start, finish is enough. Apart from that, insert the critical related columns. So I'm inserting critical column. Then I'm inserting the total float. And then early start and early finish. Late start and late finish. So once you give apply, you can check here. See, for all the activities, we have the early start as well as early finish, late start, late finish. Activity for critical activity, all dates are same only. Like early start and late start will be same, and early finish and late finish will be same. Whereas for the non-critical activity, you see here, early start is 1st October and late start is 2nd October. Either this activity can start on 1st October, otherwise this can start on 2nd October also. So this kind of flexibility you can be identified with the help of the critical path method. So how many days relaxation time available in the overall project or for the particular activity, you can analyze from the critical path method. So right now I have shown like only for the one level. If it is like you want to plan in detail for all the levels, plan the same way for all the levels. So like ground floor, you can plan first floor and second floor. Not only for that, you can plan for the tower B also. And now the finish date we have not defined in the initially. While creating a project, we have not given the finish date. Whereas now the finish date has been automatically generated. See, 31st October. If I start this project on 1st September, as of now with the help of these activities and the schedule, it is telling you will be able to complete the project on 31st October 2020. So after you doing the scheduling, we have to go for the resource loading. So resource management in the project is nothing but generally what is resources. Anything that required to complete a project, we used to call as a resources. So generally 3M as a resource or 5M as a resources in the industries, they will be telling 3M is nothing but your men, machine and materials. Whereas 5M is men, machine, materials and money and then methodology. But in Primavera, they have like a standard three type of resources, labor, non-labor and then materials. So labor is your human resources and non-labor is your machinery or the equipments and then materials is supplies. So let's see how to create the resources first. Then we will apply the resource loading for this project. Go to enterprise, resources. In the resource page, you can add the resource. Since it's like a training software, all the different lot of resources has been created already. So once the resource has been created, you can go to the details tab. You can choose what type of resource, labor, non-labor or material. So first let's see the labor resource itself. Now you go to the general tab. You can give the information related to this resource. I'm creating labor resource. So I'm giving resource ID. Then if required, you can enter the employee ID, email address, titles and all. Then you can go to the details tab. You can choose the calendars. And for any resource, we need to define two important things. So in the labor category, how many labors available in this organization or for this project? That information you can enter in the maximum units. So I'm having 5 labors at any point of time in the organization. Then standard rate. So standard rate is nothing but for this labor, what is the amount you are going to pay? In Primavera, you can maintain more than one costing. So why more than one costing is needed? In the labor itself, like fresher kind of people will be available and then experienced or like expert. inexperience. So based on the skills, you will be paying the costing means you can maintain 5 different costings. Not only 5 different costings, here like this 5 different costings is for like permanent resources, there will be one costing. For like contract resources, there will be one costing. For like external consultant means it will be like one different costing. So based on that, 5 different costing is possible in Primavera, and it is not mandatory that you have to give all the 5 costing. Any one is fine, but if required, you can utilize all the other options. So let me give the standard rate. For labor, I'm going to pay 500 per day. This is the standard cost, but in the at the maximum I can give like internal cost as 550 per day. Suppose if any internal resources like standard resource is not available, then I can take the contract resource. So if I go with contract resource, it will be like 550 per day. So after you define number of units available and the costing, enough. So this much you have to information, this much information you have to give to create the resource. Then you can create the material resource. So I'm adding one more resource. Go to details, choose the resource as a material. So material means generally we will be measuring based on like unit of measure only. Cement material measured in terms of your bags, whereas sand means like loads we will be measuring. So let me take the unit of measure bags. I'm going to take cement. Go to general, cement as a resource. So I have given the resource ID and then resource name. Then in the detailed resource types has been given. Then go to units and prices. Generally for materials, we will give maximum as a 0 because in the initial stage, we will not have the stock for the materials. Labor means 5 labors I have readily available in hands right now. Whereas cement means readily we will not purchase and keep it in the stock. So that's why for materials, we used to give the 0 and then cost alone you can enter 350 per bag. Similar way, like different brand of cement, so Ramco, Ultratech, L&T, like that, different cement brands will be available. So if you want to have like 3 different costings, you can enter here. So which cement you are using when you are assigning the activity, that time you can decide it. So I have created the labor resource and then cement resource. I will be creating one more as a machinery or the equipment resource. So go to details tab, choose whether it is non-labor or material, non-labor. Now you go to general tab, you can enter the resource name as cranes or JCBs or like cutting tools, depends upon the project, you can choose. So enter the resources names and all. Then go to units and prices, you can enter only one crane available at this time. So for cranes, what is the cost you're going to pay? 2000 per day. Once you define all the resources required for the project, then you'll be assigning the resources. So in the resource management, we have 4 steps. First, you have to define the resource, then assign the resources to the particular activities, then analyze the resources, then level the resource. So defining has been done. After defining, I'm going to the activities page. Now I'm going to assign the resources. So for excavation, in the details bar, select resources. Here you can assign. So for excavation, I'm going to assign cranes, then labor. For foundation, cement, labor resource. For plinth beam also you can assign. So similarly, you'll be assigning the resources. So once I assign the resources, I'm going to analyze the resource loading. So here we have one graph called resource usage graph. See here. So the calendar is again an important topic in the project management softwares. So resources and then like machine and material going to work on which calendar? Same to the project calendar. So now you can check. Cranes has been properly allocated, 1 per day. So for excavation and then for plinth beam, cranes are available. Whereas if you take labor resource, I have 5 labors, whereas I'm going to utilize only 1 labor at this point. Suppose if I'm changing the units, it will be changing. So now you can see here, I have shown in the allocation, like over allocation, under allocation, as well as normally allocated. So this shows the over allocation. The limit, you have only 5 labors with you, but you have assigned for the activity 7 labors required. Per day I have 5 labors, but I have assigned for that excavation activity I need like 7 labors per day. So this is your over allocation. Whereas next is under allocation. Under allocation means 5 labors we have, we are going to utilize only 1 resource. Remaining resources are free. Whereas on the next graph you see, it is like as per the limit line properly allocated. So these are the 3 conditions. Either it will be properly allocated or under allocated or over allocated. So the resource allocation you have seen. After you have seen the resource allocation, you have to level the resources. So to level the resources, I'm going to the resource page. Select the labor resource. Instead of 5 resources, I'm adding 2 more. So totally 7 labors should be in place for this project, so that the over allocation has been solved. Under allocation also acceptable, whereas the over allocation is not acceptable. So once you completed with the resource loading, we need to freeze this plan. So to freeze the plan, we will be going for the concepts called baselines. Why I need to freeze my plan? Why I need to copy my plan? In the project management software, right now you enter the planned values. So planned values available. Suppose if you enter the actual values happening at the site, then actual values only available. Then you won't be able to compare the actuals with the plan. So to compare actuals with plan, we need the actual data, we need the planned data. So for that purpose only, we are saving the baselines. Go to project, maintain baselines. I'm just taking save a copy of the current project as a new baseline, which is nothing but save this current scenario as one of the baseline. So when you need to save the baseline, you know, lot of changes you will be doing in the scheduling once you are working. So which change finally, which one has been agreed by the client. So client is giving a green signal to go with the project like 150 days duration and starting from this date and ending on this date, and this is the budget. So all the information has been approved by the client, means that stage you will create as a baseline. So I have created as a baseline. I'm assigning the baseline to this project. Now, why we have created an assign? To view the baselines here, go to bars, check in project baseline. So you can see here. So your baseline will be freezed. So this is the plan. Actually, you did the planning in the stages. Suppose if any changes has been done after this, say for example, instead of 5 days, I'm changing excavation into 6 days. And after you did the change, go for schedule it and see here, the deviation has been clearly mentioned. So initially you plan to start on this date, you plan to complete on this date. Right now the finish date has been changed for excavation. Because of that change, for all the upcoming activities, the changes has been reflected. So this is how the deviations can be captured. Baseline versus the actuals, current scenario, baseline versus current, or like planned versus actuals. Suppose you want to save this as a baseline right now. Client is accepting this delay and client is asking you to reschedule the baseline. I'm adding one more baseline. And I can view this baseline here. See the baseline deviations. So next you can update the project. So update the project in the sense you will start working on the real time. After started working on the real time, collect all the actual data happened at the site and update in the project. So you'll be updating either like monthly once or like weekly once or fortnightly once based on the client expectation of the reports. Right now our project is starting on 1st September. Say for example on 5th September I'm going to update. Otherwise fortnightly once means 15th. So till September 15th, whatever the actuals has been completed. Select the activity. And this has been started and completed. Next activity has been started, completed. And next activity started, but not on 11th September. In the site, due to some deviation, this has been started on 14th September only. So as on 15th September, how many days pending is there? 4 days of work is remaining. So now you go to the schedule. Here you can choose the 15th September. Schedule it. See? So once the actual has been completed, the actuals has been captured here, and then planned versus actuals also you can track it. So this kind of reports can be sent to client. And to view the tracking for this project, you can go enterprise tracking. So you can take the tracking report. What was the expected cost? Initially, you plan to complete this project on this much rupees. 1,04,750. Whereas here, like estimate at completion. Right now, there is no deviation in the cost. Suppose if there is a deviation, it will predict and show you the cost deviation. Say for example, for A activity, I have given 100%. Planned is this much cost, 21,875. But actually in the site, I have spent 25,000. And now you just go to the tracking sheet and see. Initially, you plan to complete the project in 1,04,750. Right now, at the end, if this kind of deviation and this much changes in the cost also continues, at the end, you'll be able to complete the project in 1,07,875. So the deviation can be recorded here. Also, you can predict what will be the cost, what will be the budget to complete the project. For the remaining work also, how much budget is needed to complete. So all the information can be displayed here. This information you can view here in the activity page. You can view the cash flow curves also. See here. The cash flows can be viewed. Otherwise, you can view the S curves. Like histogram, your cash flow histograms also view. So this is how Primavera is working. And let me show you for other projects also. Right now, I have created one project and show you construction of apartments. Similarly, you can see here how they planned for office building expansion, city center office building addition. Open this project and see here. So they split it into design and engineering, foundation, structures, mechanical and electrical. So based on package wise also you can split. So under MEP, elevators, HVAC, plumbing. Under exterior finishes, brickwork, roof, doors, like that. So if you go to activity page, you can see here. Since it's like a big project, you can see year or month wise. See? So this project is having around 88 activities, line items. So this much actuals has been completed, remaining has not started. So the deviations can be viewed. Also, if you go to tracking sheet, you can see here. So for the package wise also you can find the cost prediction and duration prediction. Also for overall project also you can find it. Similarly, you can see here energy services related project, manufacturing related projects, then product development, corporate programs, pipeline opportunities, IT, line of business one, data center consolidation, ERP legacy merge. So like that, you can create a number of projects in the Primavera software. Also, complex projects can be created and maintained efficiently. So bridge projects, infrastructure projects also available, oil and gas projects. Metro projects, railways projects, or metro tunnel projects. So let's have metro tunnel project. You can go to the WBS and see here. The metro projects has been split based on the metro related activities. Key milestones, then design, then procurement, construction, testing. So major packages, then in detail planning. So this is how you can create any projects and you can plan the project efficiently with the same process only. So we have seen the features of Primavera in the software itself. So as we discussed, login can be created and then entered. Then project creation in the Primavera project also we have seen. Breakdown structure, that is high level planning, then scheduling, then resource loading, and then updating the progress also we have seen. So finally, solutions for reporting, earned value analysis we have seen. So the tracking reports can be generated. So reports in the sense like when you're sending the reports to the top management, we will be sending the milestone reports. When we are sending the reports to the team members, we will be sending the detailed report. So these are features of the Primavera software which we have seen now. Next, we will enter into Primavera Oracle certification. So Oracle certifications are substantial benchmarks of the knowledge and expertise that help you stand out in a crowd among the organizations. Importance of Oracle certification. Job prospects after achieving the Oracle certification, employability, salary, job effectiveness, job satisfaction. IPMCS in association with Oracle University providing the Oracle certificate for Primavera software training completion. Other project management certification if you take, okay, Primavera is a project management software where you can manage a project, whereas project management concepts, before entering into the softwares and all, first you should know the basic concepts. For that, if you're interested to know the concepts in detail, and if you want to do the certification related to the concept, there is one certification available, CAPM. So PMP is a certification only experience can do. 3 years of experience if you have, then you can go for PMP. Whereas if you are a fresher, college students, like after completing the graduation, you can go for the CAPM certification. So CAPM is nothing but certified associate in project management, contributes to the project team. So to attend the CAPM examination, you need like your educational background, 4 years of education, and then 1500 hours experience or 23 hours PM education. So if you don't have any experience, then you need to attend the project management concepts training from any of the REP centers. Then it is like application process and multiple choice examination. 3 hours exam will be there. So why we need to go for the CAPM certification? If you have the CAPM certification, like among all the other freshers, you'll be standing out in a crowd. So you'll be like getting more opportunities, and then you can gain the concepts knowledge. So if the industry is recruiting a CAPM certified person, they have the confidence that the candidate will be more strong in the project concepts, as well as the candidate is treated equivalent to 1 or 2 years experience actually. And career path in project management and Primavera. So job opportunities for the project management roles by 2020. You can see the graph. In India, around 88 lakhs 57,845 job opportunity project management roles available by 2020. So compared to all the countries, like India is placing second position for more number of job opportunities in the project management, and this is common for all the industries. Positions of a successful project management candidates can hold in industries: a project manager role, project scheduler, junior project engineer, planning engineer, PMO consultant, PMO analyst, project consultant, support engineer, lead planner, project lead, project manager, project overviewer, site engineer, or document controllers. So, and this displays here from the entry level till the top level of the project roles. So to the entry level, the project coordinator will be placing. So it's an entry level administrative job. They generate, distribute reports and assist in project organizations. And also as a project scheduler. For large projects consist of mostly data entry into the software programs, more computer oriented than managerial. Then assistant project manager, not necessarily an assistant, but tasked with specific aspects of the project to manage and then report back to the project manager. Then project manager, he is the one who is like in a commanding position to the project to deliver the project outcome as well as to manage the project team. Whereas senior project manager, also called as a project lead, they can handle more than one projects. They can handle multiple projects together. Primavera roles for freshers. Project coordinators. They work closely with all the project team members. They collaborate with the client and internal teams to deliver and complete tasks on time. Project coordinator salaries in India, if you take, average salary for a project coordinator is 4,92,668 in India. And also you can see the other roles: associate project manager 42K, program coordinator, project management, junior project manager roles. Also Primavera roles. Step required to become a Primavera project scheduler. So the first step is to deciding the Primavera scheduler designation, then check your skills and background. And it is necessary to have a bachelor's degree or like diploma. Then you'll be preferred by the employers. For some employers, some experience of some years of experience is enough. So for the fresher, project scheduler salary, average salary is 4,36,689 in India. Similarly, when you have like more experience, the salary also will be very high. So for the master scheduler, project controls engineer, and construction scheduler, you can check. To become a project planner, Oracle Primavera P6 is a powerful project scheduling software that offers advanced EPPM, product management, and reporting solutions. So if you have like Primavera knowledge, then it will be like easy to become a planning engineer position. So average salary for the planning engineer around 5,61,507 in India. Similarly, you can see the other roles also: planner, planning manager, senior planning engineer, or civil engineers. So next is Primavera usage in the real-time projects. Some of the prestigious projects handled by Primavera software: Chennai Metro Rail project, Statue of Unity project, INS Varsha's India secret naval base project. In mechanical projects, Neyveli Lignite Corporation, JK Cement Works Mangrove, AMTZ, Andhra Medtech Zone. In electrical projects, transmission and distribution lines in Madhya Pradesh, Rayalaseema Thermal Power Project, then Kudangulam Nuclear Power Plant, India's single biggest nuclear power plant. In this, they have used the Primavera software for the power plant construction. Some of the port projects: Reliance Infra, L&T Navyuga, Shapurji, and Adani. They are all like involved in the port construction projects, and they are using Primavera softwares. Some of the oil and gas projects: GAIL, Saipem, Adani, Technip, Technimont, KBR, and Mott MacDonald, using Primavera software for the oil and gas projects. Also, NASA space station, we all very much aware about this, and they have used Primavera software to collaborate the lot of schedules to get the master schedule. So NASA program has developed a process for combining the schedules from multiple sources into an integrated master schedule for the ISS program using the Primavera P3E module. Partial list of ongoing or completed projects of IPMCS. L&T Construction infrastructure projects, Raheja Corporation commercial buildings, Kudangulam nuclear power plant construction, IRCON railways project, GDCL Ahmedabad metro rail project, FLS Smith cement projects and erection commissioning projects, Tata projects infrastructure, IIT development of a project management, PowerMech projects, tough offshore delay analysis project, airport projects. Thank you all. Participants, if you have any doubts, you can post on the chat box. We can discuss. Otherwise, you can unmute and you can ask your doubts related to the Primavera software.